Hello and welcome to this channel where I talk about trading in the crypto market. I am going to show you guys how I enter these trades, what I look for before entering the trades, and most importantly, some of the rules that I never break. Welcome back guys. So today I wanted to talk about the lower time frames and how I would scalp trades if ever, which would mean higher risk in my opinion. Scalp trades do have a higher risk to reward ratio in my opinion. So I'm going to be showing you, of course, just for me it's still the basic where I look at supply and the demand zones, and then at the same time, but I use box method confirmation. I am going to be trying actually to implement the Wyckoff situation. Wyckoff method, which is basically like, let's see, what here is a Wyckoff. Wyckoff is, if I'm not mistaken, it's something like this. Right, it's something like that, or it could be the other way around where it's something like this, something like that, right? That's these both are, if I'm not mistaken. So I am not completely confident in trading this way yet. I'm not even sure how you spell it, but this is the Wyckoff confirmation method, something that I'm actually not completely confident in integrating into my trading process yet, but I'm definitely looking to enhance my abilities using this confirmation method. Yeah, so and then this is just the Wyckoff. Wait, let's just lessen this down a bit. Yeah, with the Wyckoff. Okay, so now let's see, on the 5 minute, okay, so I mean clearly there's going to be some here. Actually we can look at some down here as well. Not sure if they have been tested, but right here, this is actually on a bigger one, so this was a holding point. So from here it bounced back out, maybe same spot we can look into. If not, a more refined zone would be somewhere here, hopefully. Definitely somewhere here. So these are going to be the demand zones. This right here is the more refined version, the one in the bottom. Right, and then now let's use the box method confirmation. So if you're wondering where you should start with the box confirmation, it's either in the highest high or the lowest low. Today we're starting with the lowest low. So it broke out here. This was when it broke out. So what we do is we mark it out, broke out here, came back in, tested, and boom. So the thing is with this one, right, when you trade box confirmation, you notice here price broke out, it went back in, you're thinking that's it. No, I always go by 1 to 1.5, which would mean, let's say I entered the long here, when price went back and came back in, let's say I put my entry point here, right? When it broke out, price went back in. Okay, now whatever is gonna happen, I'll put this in the low. This is what I always do. Okay, always in the low. And then this one has to be a 1.5. Remember, this is high level but very small position. This is one of my smaller positions whenever I scalp trade. So what's gonna happen here is I would have not gotten scared, and instead, while this was range trading all the way here, and then it went here, until it reached this point, that is when I'm out of the trade, because that's when my 1.5 ratio hit. Which means what exactly, right? That's the big question. So now what I am thinking is, what now is the next? This is when the highest breaking point is, what I would say, towards the lowest breaking point, which is right here. Right? So now that's the box. So now the thing is, horizontal line, but put it right there now when price broke out. Okay, so now price did break out, but it came back into test. See, now something like this is a rare situation of perfect entry, but the thing is, that is what, within a 15-20 minute period time, and I would not have caught that myself. So what's gonna happen here? I would not be entering in that specific one, although I would be boxing this up. So I might have missed this specific trade, but I would box this up. It went out, went here, it went in here. Okay, which would mean from this high to this low is the next box, right? Okay, now see, price went out, but it broke down. So now this is a whole change BOS and the lower time frame, of course. Now this one broke out, price came back in somewhere here. This one price came back in. So from here till here is the next box, right? Because if I repeat it again, this is the box before. This one is focused on this one right here, this one. Okay. So now what's gonna happen is price went down here. Let me mark that out. Price came down, traded, and then came back in here. And then it broke out, right? Which would mean what? That's the next box. Because I would have wrote this one down definitely. I would have put, once I saw this price breakdown, when price went up back here, I would short this here. Same thing, make sure this is in the same line, and then this one should be a 1 to 1.5, somewhere there. So right here, when price went in, I'm in the trade. 1.5, I'm out the trade right here. In, out, quickly, out, and then here. Okay, so now when price went, so this is the next box now, right? This whole thing is the next box. So what do we see now? Price went out here, right? Price went out, and then now when it broke out, it came back in all the way up here. So this is one of the big loss trades if I took. Because what happened? Watch. Price broke out, came back in, which would mean my entry point would have been right here in the low of this box, right? So when say I shorted this right here, my stop loss would have been all the way in the top here, and to break a 1.5, I would need to go all the way down here, which is a rule I always live by, especially in the lower time frames. Remember that. So now the thing with this, there, I lost money again. But see, look, this is what I'm trying to say. Let's say if I took all the trades, that would have been what, maybe 5 or 6 trades. I'm actually not sure, I've lost count, but so far I counted my losses, I've had 2. So my wins are always more than my losses in terms of percentage, which is something you should always remember. Getting stopped out is something a trader should never get scared, because it's almost inevitable in my opinion. Okay? So now this is BOS again, so now we take the lows. Where's the lows here? This one is probably, I could say, the lowest. So from here, break of structure. Well, let me just delete this for you guys so you guys can see better. Let me just, should I delete this? Cool, delete it for you guys. There we go. It's delete. Okay. So now, when you look at this right here, where were we? This, okay, so if it came out here, came back into test, and it rode it all the way up here, right? Basically fine, it range traded, but that's what happened. See, I'm in a positive now. So now from here, what I would do is, I would get this, mark it down. My entry point would have been here, so I'd enter a long here, right here, when price came back to test. Stop loss right there. Now 1.5 would be somewhere here. There, got failed, so I did make money in that specific trade. Now this is now my box, this one. This is now my box. From here, broke out. Price is still in though. Broke out here though, it's been quite some time. Which would mean my entry point was here. Right, and then that would mean my stop loss is down here. And then it looks like a trade that I'm going to be losing. My 1.5 would be somewhere here. So this is me just showing you guys how I would, let's say, attack this whole chart quickly as a scalp trader. Right? So now basically every time something gets failed or stop loss, I look straight again. What's my next move? What's my next move? What's my next move? It's always something I do and I go by. So I hope you like this quick little guide or explanation on how I personally trade. I am not telling you to copy me, but maybe there are a few things that you would want to pick up on, or if you have any questions, let me know. Definitely, I would recommend finding a bias of yourself that you guys have to stick by all the time as long as it proves to be profitable. Do not get influenced by any other person trading who has maybe a better RR or a better win ratio, win percentage. Don't. Just stick to whatever's working out for you. Trust me, I've learned this the hard way, and see you guys in the next one, boys. Thank you for watching.